So what happens for me, the process is this. These experts, the historians, the English teachers, tell me what it is that needs to be there. And then I have to study and read all of this. So I study the documents and any peripheral material, and I read all of the literature, the novels, all of it. And then from that, I extract what I feel are the concepts, the main concepts, and I put it to music. And my original idea was it would be, you study it in history, study it in English, and then go to your choral class. And then it was in April when I went to Philadelphia to meet with PLN staff members and teachers from various school districts. And that's when I started learning about all these myriad of applications that I had no idea would be there when I got the idea for this project. And certainly not the idea that kids could take the document then and write their own poetry, or their own lyrics, or draw their own pictures, so on and so forth. It's just kind of grown faster than I can even get my arms around it. Stephanie Goldstein alluded to one of the many literacy techniques that they use at the Penn Literacy Network. So that what's going to happen is that as we continue to grow and add new modules, Civil War Reconstruction module, the labor movement module. Actually, Professor Fossum and I he was saying, why don't we have a module call the module Dissent. Dissent in American history. Then we could start with the transcendentalists of the 1850s, Henry David Thoreau, so on and so forth. And instead of it being a chronological, because when history is taught chronologically, it's a snooze, This war, and then that war, and then this war, and then that war. But when it's taught thematically, it takes on a totally different shape. So these are some of the concepts that we're throwing around, that we could lace a dissent module through American history. The way I picture it, if I was to visualize it, it's almost like a giant crossword puzzle. Because some of these modules will intersect. Some of the material from the women's movement module will also fit with the Civil War module in terms of abolition and slavery, because that's when the original suffragettes began. They were aligned with the abolition movement. And this would work all the way through the project. So that what eventually will happen is that teachers in a school district could pick and choose the material they want. They could decide to pick one piece of music from the women's movement module because they're teaching about the Civil War. They wouldn't have to do the entire women's movement thing, and so on. So it's constantly evolving, and I rely on the experts to tell me what to do, to tell me what to read.